If you need edge control to make a clean part, you cannot make a clean part. You're not a good hairstylist. They cake your hair in so much product. Like, your hair would be drowning if he was acting like a child and she gave him his way because he's the man of the house. And he would give her like her own allowance out of her own paycheck. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be sharing some unpopular opinions that I have so far about this year and just about what people have been doing. Okay, yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Number one is Instagram hairstylists have got to go. And I don't mean, you know, those people who own salons and showcase their hair, like their art, whatever, on Instagram. I mean Instagram hairstylists. The ones who are like, oh yeah, let's book a hair appointment through your Instagram DMs. Come through to my house for your appointment. If you're 2 minutes late, you get a service fee charge of like $10. Those kind of hairstylists. They irritate me. Number one, I just want to talk about how they have ridiculous pricing. You know, I'm talking about like specifically box braids, but they've got ridiculous pricing for things like wigs as well. We won't get there. But like for box braids, for instance, I saw one that was like £300 for simple box braids. I don't understand why. I don't need to know why, but it doesn't really make any sense, because it's like, these are very simple to do. I could do these myself. Well, actually, I've done them myself before. They looked a bit bad. But my point is, they should not be costing that much. Instagram hairstylists, they will basically charge you. They'll charge you an arm, a leg, a foot, your eyeball, your nose, cartilage in your freaking ear, just to give you such trash results. Like, your hair will be caked in eco styler gel, edge control, hair gummy, mousse, everything. And in 2 to 3 working business days, your hair is going to look like 1 month old lifted lace. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they'll be like, oh, you know, their pricing, blah, 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 blah. We need to boycott these Instagram hairstylists because they're getting a bit too bold for bad work. The work is bad, okay? Like, I don't even know why I'm so heated about this. I remember I watched this video on TikTok. This woman was basically just like explaining why she prices for like hair parting. As in, like, you know, the boxes for box braids, why she charges separately for like parting of hair. She was like, because it's a whole different process, blah, 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 blah. In my opinion, the whole process of doing box braids is the parting. You part my hair into, you know, tiny box sections and you add the attachment. That's all it is. Like, it's not this whole masterpiece process that they egg it out to be. It's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. One thing that just irritates me, and I've already said this, but they cake your hair in so much product. Like, your hair would be drowning in edge control eco styler gel just to get this crisp, clean part. I'm so sorry. If you need edge control to make a clean part, you cannot make a clean part. You're not a good hairstylist. I'm sorry. No. The thing is, like, even I need to calm down. I'm actually get worked up. The thing is, like, sometimes, like, you want to make a clean part. If I was doing it on myself, I would not even use edge control, because it's like, your hair is the edge control kind of, I don't want to say expires, but it's gonna like get white and it's gonna look really like yucky, basically. So it's like, why? It irritates me. Number two, so men that make podcasts really need to stop making these podcasts. I am so tired. Every 2 to 3 business days, you're gonna see a new podcast being made. It's boring, it's old, it really needs to stop. Basically, these podcasts range from like men in their like late 20s, early 30s, spewing the same boring, useless relationship advice that I really urge none of you to listen to. Basically, all their podcasts are they're driven more towards women, how women should keep a man, blah, 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 blah. The advice is just so useless. Literally, they will say things ranging from like, oh yeah, women shouldn't have Instagram because that's virtual cheating, to men can cheat. They can do all and literally any form of cheating because they're not emotionally attached to their partner. So it's not the same thing. Makes it. Anyways, but literally they say such like useless things like that just do not make any sense. All of their like talks are like anchored towards women, and only they never ever address a man being like, oh yeah, maybe this is what you should do in a relationship, this is what you should do. No, it's ladies, you need to get on your knees, scrub the freaking floor, cook and clean to keep a man, and he can still cheat on you because he's the man of the house, because he literally doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not even so much like salty about it. It's just kind of like, it's just a bit irritating, I would say. That's what I would say. They basically, what kind of just irritates me about the whole like podcast they make is they basically just make relationships seem like they're supposed to be these transactional things, when in actuality, relationships like marriages, things like, they're supposed to be partnerships. If it's not a partnership, it's obviously not going to work. That's probably why all of these men are either single, they're divorced, or they've had failed relationships, because they view it as this transactional thing where it's like, oh yeah, I work all day, I bring all the money, so you should be in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, and everyone should be satisfied. No, it's supposed to be a partnership. If it's not a partnership, it's not going to work. And the last thing that they say that really just kind of gets on my nerves, they always ask this really dumb question. It's like, what do you bring to the table? They always talk about their money. They're like, I bring my money to the table. You know, I'm rich. I've got all these cars. I've got yachts. I've got all of this. All they talk about is their money, by the way. But then get mad when they attract women who only want them for their money. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying you should really be going after someone's money, because I mean, it's their money. You keep your eyes to yourself. But it's like, if you only talk about your money, who do you expect to attract? Number 3 is gender reveals on social media have gotten out of hand. I really can only account for the ones I've seen on like TikTok, on YouTube, and I've seen quite a few fails. But it's like, people actually post these fails, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it's for clout and like money or whatever it's for, but it's like, regardless, you shouldn't post it because it's so embarrassing. So basically, this is how the gender reveal goes. Well, the fail goes anyway. Either they find out they're having a girl and the guy has like a complete mental breakdown. He has a complete meltdown. Like he's screaming, he's crying, all of these things. Because apparently girls are just the unwanted gifts they keep on giving. Or they find out they're having a boy and the guy gets surrounded by his guy friends, and instead of hugging his wife, because you know she's the one that's carrying the child, she's the one that's with child, he basically just goes off with his boys and they start screaming, blah blah blah. Because I guess it is an exciting moment, but I feel like you guys should be together in that thing. It's not for me to say, but anyways, he basically just completely disregards the wife, just completely ignores her because she's chopped liver, whatever. But anyways, these two scenarios result in basically the woman, she comes on like YouTube or TikTok, whatever social media platform, and she basically has to like convince everyone, including herself, that, you know, the man loves her, he treats her so well, he's allowed to have a bad reaction, blah 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 blah, this is that this, that we don't know their relationship. We actually don't know their relationship, so I'm not judging, I'm just saying it's just kind of embarrassing. But the way it is, I mean, people say like, oh, you know, he can have a bad reaction, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the woman's had a bad reaction. I've just never seen a gender reveal where the woman has had a bad reaction. My point is like, the child is going to come out that gender regardless. There's nothing you can really do. So I don't see the point of like screaming like, oh my goodness, I wish it was this, I wish it was that. But you have no control over it, literally. So get over it. Number 4, can we please change the standard for lazy people? Men and women here, right? Like, I've seen way too many videos on TikTok of like these quirky, relatable housewives. Just, they share like stories that they think are funny. They're not funny. They're a bit worrisome. But they share these stories about how, you know, their husband was, you know, he was acting like a child and she gave him his way because he's the man of the house, whatever type things like this. And it's just kind of like, I'll even explain the story. Basically, they had a newborn. She went to the shower because she hadn't had a shower. She hadn't had time alone or like away from her baby. And obviously, quality time to yourself is very important. So she had to get out of the shower early because the child was crying and the husband was calling her, like holding the child like out like this. Oh, he's hungry, as if there weren't any bottles, whatever, I don't know. But she was basically on TikTok defending him, talking about like, you guys don't know our relationship. Again, we don't. Doesn't make it any less embarrassing. There was this video that irked me in particular. Maybe you guys have seen it. It was viral. I don't know. But basically, there was this couple. They were very like... Well, basically, the guy was unemployed, so he didn't work. The girl did work, though. Basically, what she allowed him to do, she would get her paychecks, right? He would take her paycheck. It wasn't like a forceful thing. It was very much... She wanted him to take it as well. He would take her paychecks. He would divide it for like utilities, bills, things like that. And he would give her like her own allowance out of her own paycheck. They were both very like vocal about how they were very much into traditional gender roles. Traditional, but he didn't earn any money. That's suspicious. That's weird. But anyways, yeah, they were very vocal about how they were very traditional. He was the man of the house. And people like that's just kind of iffy and weird. right? Because I mean, it kind of is. I didn't comment because it's none of my business. But she was just basically on TikTok being like, we'll never understand, we're never gonna find husbands because blah 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 blah. Like, why? I'm not judging again. It's like, when are you guys gonna stop being so weak in the knees for these men? The same goes for like a man. He basically shared a story about how he used to do everything for his girlfriend. Like, she did not work. She didn't do anything. He did everything for her. Like, he was cooking, he was cleaning, everything. Just for him to hear her on the phone to friends, calling him bad words, basically saying he's kind of like the woman of the house. He does everything, blah, blah. He dumped her, of course, as he should. Anyways. Well, guys, we've reached the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Yes. I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe you agree with some things I've said. Maybe you disagree. If you disagree, you know, comment down below what you disagree. Yeah, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite part of the video was. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye guys.